Now, on the issue of cropping, well, I should show you a couple of things here. I'm going to get rid of this image here. I'm just going to close him. You can save him if you want. I'm not going to bother saving this guy. And my banner can go as well. Don't need him. And I'm going to do my little trick here. Double click on the gray background. And the guy that I'm after now inside the Chapter 3 folder, inside your project files folder, is called cropping.jpg. Open this guy up. And whoever took this photo, they must have been in a bit of a windstorm here. We can clearly see that our image has been shot on an angle here. Our photo is on an angle. So we got to straighten this out. There's a couple of neat techniques that I can show you to straighten out a photo here inside Photoshop. One way to fix this image is to use Photoshop's ruler tool. And he's hidden underneath the eyedropper tool up inside the toolbox. I'll click and hold on the eyedropper tool. I'm looking for the ruler tool. There he is there. Now what I'm going to do, I want to drag this tool along what is supposed to be a perfectly straight line. Telephone poles work good for this, or the edges of buildings, or the edges of crooked barns in this case. I'm going to click and drag straight up there, right along that edge. Perfect. Now what I want to do is I want to rotate this image based on the angle that I just measured. So I'm going to go up to the Image menu, down to Image Rotation, and I'm going to choose Arbitrary. And the Arbitrary dialog box already loads in the angle that I just measured out. I want to rotate clockwise. I'll click on OK. There's my straightened image. Perfect. I'll grab my rectangular marquee tool, click and drag a selection. Uh-oh, look at what I went and did. I selected my whole image. You know why that happened? I forgot to set my style back to normal, which is kind of a good thing. This options bar will remember your last settings. It's a good thing, except when you're trying to show someone how to crop a barn. So I'm going to set my style menu back to normal. I will go back to select and then deselect, and then I'm going to try again here. I'll click and drag straight up here, grab my barn, same command as you saw a second ago, image, crop. Perfect. There's a perfectly cropped barn, and I'll choose select, deselect again. All right, now that's one way to crop in Photoshop, but there's another way to crop. Some people find this easier, some people find this harder. Some people really like the ruler trick. You can use the ruler trick if you want. I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to hit F12 here, once again reverting back to where we started. This time I'm going to use Photoshop's crop tool, the proper crop tool. Now what I can do with this guy, take a look on your options bar there. You can fix the width and height if you wish. What I'm going to do with this guy though is I'm going to click and drag a tiny little rectangle right along that same edge. Now, what happens here when I click and drag this frame is the entire image dims except the area inside the crop. Now, that's supposed to help me see exactly how this guy's going to crop. And up on the options bar here, I can change the color if I want and the opacity, or I can turn that shield on and off depending on what you want to do there. I usually just leave the defaults. Now what I'm going to do here, if you bring your cursor outside of this crop frame, you'll get a curved double-headed arrow. And if I click and drag, that'll let me rotate this crop frame. So what I'm trying to do is line up this edge with the edge of the barn there. And you saw there what I just did is I grabbed one of those resize handles, this guy right here, and you can drag these in and out. So all I'm trying to do is line up this line with the edge of the barn there, and I think I'm still just a little bit off, maybe something about there. Once you have that edge locked in, that line locked in, then the rest of the cropping process is easy. So again, look for a straight edge inside your image, a building, a tower, a pole of some sort, who knows what. All right, I'm just going to use these resize handles here on the edges of my frame just to drag this out, scale this out as large as I want. Let's say something like this. All right, good stuff. Now, how do I actually apply the crop now? Well, there's two ways. I can either hit Enter on the keyboard or just double-click anywhere inside the crop frame. That applies the crop. There you go. There's using Photoshop's crop tool. So, whether you want to use the ruler tool or the crop tool, two different options for you for cropping your images.